A reading from the book of Genesis. Abram's wife Sarai had borne him no children. She had, however, an Egyptian maidservant named Hagar. Sarai said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from bearing children. Have intercourse then with my maid. Perhaps I shall have sons through her." Abram heeded Sarai's request. Thus, after Abram had lived 10 years in the land of Canaan, his wife Sarai took her maid Hagar, the Egyptian, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his concubine. He had intercourse with her, and she became pregnant. When she became aware of her pregnancy, she looked on her mistress with disdain. So Sarai said to Abram, "You are responsible for this outrage against me. I myself gave my maid to your embrace, but ever since she became aware of her pregnancy, she has been looking on me with disdain. May the Lord decide between you and me." Abram told Sarai, "Your maid is in your power. Do to her whatever you please." Sarai then abused her so much that Hagar ran away from her. The Lord's messenger found her by a spring in the wilderness, the spring on the road to Shur, and he asked, "Hagar, maid of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going?" She answered, "I am running away from my mistress Sarai." But the Lord's messenger told her, "Go back to your mistress and submit to her abusive treatment. I will make your descendants so numerous," added the Lord's messenger, "that they will be too many to count." Besides, the Lord's messenger said to her, "You are now pregnant and shall bear a son, and you shall name him Ishmael. For the Lord has heard you. God has answered you. This one shall be a wild ass of a man, his hand against everyone, and everyone's hand against him. In opposition to all his kin, he shall encamp." Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram named the son whom Hagar bore him Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore him Ishmael. The word of the Lord. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Who can tell the mighty deeds of the Lord, or proclaim all his praises? Blessed are they who observe what is right, who do always what is just. Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people. Visit me with your saving help, that I may see the prosperity of your chosen ones. Rejoice in the joy of your people, and glory with your inheritance.
Whoever loves me will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him. Hallelujah. 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 The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name? Did we not drive out demons in your name? Did we not do mighty deeds in your name? Then I will declare to them solemnly, I never knew you. Depart from me, you evildoers. Everyone who listens to these words of mine and acts on them will be like a wise man who built his house on rock. The rain fell, the floods came, and the wind blew and buffeted the house, but it did not collapse. It had been set solidly on rock. And everyone who listens to these words of mine, but does not act on them, will be like a fool who built his house on sand. The rain fell, the floods came, and the winds blew and buffeted the house, but it collapsed and was completely ruined. When Jesus finished these words, the crowds were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as their scribes. The Gospel of the Lord. Good morning. Well, our gospel today is a reminder for us, like what I've said, to become a true disciple. And clearly it says to us, reminds us again, that words are not enough for us to become a true disciples, but it needs and demands concrete actions, that these words that we found and we said move us to do things that the Lord challenges us to do. And like prayers are not enough for us to become a true disciples of the Lord, but because of this, we are enlightened what to do as a true disciples of the Lord, especially in our time. Well, before we started the Mass, and I got the chance to talk with our lectors and servers there, and well, Frank is here, and Frank told me, I just felt to come here, I just felt needed to come here to do things here. And I think this is the concrete experience, that because of our prayers, because of our daily prayers, we feel sometimes the need to do things. Words are not enough, but challenges us. Faith like faith and practice, that we can translate all the words that we found here into actions, real actions. And I think it says here also, whenever we do this, like words and actions, it gains us strength to become strong. That's why it said here, it gives authority. It's not just like a scribe, a teacher, but the Lord, in telling that to his disciples, they feel that there is authority. And same thing to us. When we, after prayer, do things that is needed, especially those in need in our society, it gives us authority. It reminds us that because we found God, we are reminded also something about the poor, the needy, those who need our attentions, especially those who are oppressed and deprived. Well, basically it tells us about the church's mission. The church's mission is not just to pray, but to serve, to be in communion with Christ.